Hello and good morning from gorgeous, sunny Cali. Who wants to join me? Who cares to join me in a synchronization through chaos session? Show you what I'm doing here. Haven't figured out how to turn the camera around. I'm in a blissful state. See if anybody wants to comment. I get a lot of crickets. Good stuff. Unfortunately, I don't think you can hear my music. What you're seeing is what we call the matrix mirror, not to be used to determine session efficacy or, what's going on in this bandwidth, so on and so forth. It's just a visual representation of training. On the left side of the screen, you see the spectra from 0.01 hertz up to 64. And then on the right side, you see the 20 time dash frequency envelopes that show the proprietary targeting and triggering. And as you see movement of the white lines turning orange-brown, that indicates that a pause or an interrupt may be triggered in response to noted flutter in the electrical signal from my noggin. And what the pause or interrupt in the music does is it provides the orienting response to my noggin, my brain, about what it's just done, and gives it the opportunity to make a decision on whether it wants to continue with a preceding change in phase state or reorganize and go back to what it was doing before. I'll give you an example. Flutter precedes a change in phase state, and it happens all the time. Flutter's neither good nor bad, but for example, when we're awake and just prior to nodding off, flutter will occur in the electrical signal. And, if we're lying on the couch or in the bed or whatnot, that's pretty good. The brain will allow that to continue. Or if we're driving down the road, the brain will notice that and say, whoa, wait a minute, wake up. Hope that makes sense. No, I'm just gonna be silent here. This is the Z-amp. And what the Z-amp does is it's measuring one way only from the active sensors. I don't think you can see them. Unfortunately, you can't see them here in this shot. but there's two active sensors that are measuring electrical activity at the top of the head. And then I have a reference sensor on my left ear and another reference sensor on my right ear, and then a ground. So just like a battery, you have to have a positive and a negative pole. So the active is measuring the electrical activity. The reference is essentially electrically neutral, and you get a subtraction so that it has a measurement there. Without the positive and negative pole, you're not measuring anything. And so you get a subtraction of that to give you the signal. And then the ground, the black ground, is essentially doing what they call common mode rejection and denoising all the electrical signals that surround us constantly. You know, line noise, 60 hertz in America, 50 hertz in Europe and other places. Also, you know, we got Bluetooth, we got Wi-Fi, we got static electricity in the air. So that helps to give the first pass of denoising the signal. And we're measuring in microvolts, teeny tiny. So the Z-amp amplifies that signal, digitizes it, takes it from analog to digital, and then passes that to the software. And the software does the magic after that. Any questions? Any comments? Crickets? I'll have to post my free shrugs meme. We're sharing a live broadcast of my Neuroptimal session this morning, and trying to see if we can have a little synchronization through chaos with those people who perchance happen to watch it.
Start on our knees so that you don't. They're too hard, 2 regular push-ups. Also, you go to your knees and if at that point they're still too hard, you can like that.
You know, the beauty about Neuroptimal is it's not task-oriented. So I can sit here and do a Facebook Live, or you might watch me nod off and go into sleep. I sleep a lot during my sessions, and Neuroptimal is an unconscious process, and so it accesses our unconscious auditory processes. So if we're asleep, even if deep sleep, your unconscious auditory processes are always working. So I love the fact that I don't have to do anything during a session, or I can try a Facebook Live and see if anybody wants to chime in, or do it by myself. I'm all alone. So I'm trying to get rid of some of my back pain here. Now, Neuroptimal's not a panacea, folks, but it is very helpful in allowing you to have your brain access its inherent resilience and flexibility. And you see, the brain is constantly scanning both the internal and external environment for information that is relevant to it. And in the context of the relevant information that it receives, it then makes decisions on how to respond in order to minimize discomfort to it, all caps. Not conscious discomfort, because the brain's concerned with survival and not conscious thrival. So, many of the comprehensive behavioral repertoire that the brain has adopted in our lifetime for survival no longer serves us well. And when the brain is provided information about its own electrical activity in a neurooptimal session at 256 times a second, it can make decisions on whether or not that behavioral repertoire that no longer serves us needs to be continued or not, and make the adjustment. It's, our brains are holograms in terms of using interference patterns, and in every part of the brain lies the whole of our experience in terms of perception and memory, but it's not complete. Okay? You're getting little bits and pieces, and you have, your ongoing sensory inputs that are, I'm lacking the right term right now, but those ongoing sensory inputs get molded into these interference patterns, and sometimes they get in the way. We think about something that was dramatic or traumatic in the past, and our brain is responding to that, and it's no longer present. So providing that oriented response to the brain allows it to recognize that. It completes the story. It's like James Pennebaker's work on trauma. And he found that if people simply write all the emotion down, fingers in the air, handwriting, typewriting, 15 to 20 minutes, 3 to 4 days, that allows the brain to complete the story. And the trauma shown through his research study resolved. There's the feel it to heal it crowd that in that vein, of course, for that short period of time, you're feeling it. And then there's the we don't need to feel it to heal it crowd, including neurooptimal and mantra meditation. The VA's done a study recently that mantra meditation is better than talk therapy, because you don't need to feel it to heal it. You just need to be present. Anyhow, I'm waxing philosophically for whatever reason. And so far, nobody's watching. So if I sound like a complete fool, it don't matter. This is marvelous. Let's see if I can get close to the screen and you can see the movement of the time-dash frequency envelopes. The target line's white. The spectra on the left. And if you notice down at the bottom, you see the large amount of amplitude around the zero level. Well, that's the background EMF, like static electricity and whatnot. And neurooptimal is designed in such a way using the mathematics of joint time-dash frequency analysis and nonlinear dynamical systems control processes to recognize what is human EEG and what is not. Human EEG is very chaotic. Line noise, static electricity, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and so on and so forth is not chaotic. Sinusoidal rhythms, in a periodic fashion. So Neuroptimal is designed to recognize that non-human EEG and exclude it from training. So you can see got some pretty good movement on the targets. Try to point out where we may have a triggering event. There we go. You saw some orange-brown lines. Now, Neuroptimal uses a rather intelligent process called AutoNav, which works in a way that throughout the entire session, it's comprehensively and adaptively adjusting whether a target requires a trigger event and a pause in the audio or not. It's quite amazing how that's able to do it. And we don't even have to think about what's going on in this session. It figures it out and makes a decision and adjusts both the session and whether or not to trigger an interruption on its own. Pretty amazing. I have a document in case anyone wants to take a look at that, hit me up, that goes through in detail what's going on with Neuroptimal, how it was developed, so on and so forth. So just send me a request, a private message, if you feel more comfortable doing that, or respond in a post or a reply, and I'll make sure you have access to that. And now I'm going to go silent for a little while and just simply enjoy my session consciously, even though I don't need to. Hello, David. Good to see you here. Let's enjoy some synchronization through chaos. And I apologize, you're not going to be able to hear the audio and the interrupts, but I have a YouTube video that provides that. If anyone is curious on what a session sounds like, I could provide a link to that later. I have about a little over 12 minutes left. You know what I find amazing? I said I was going to be quiet, but here I am, pretending to wax philosophically. Like everyone, everything's relevant. We all have our stressors. I have what I consider a high level of stress. I'm having some physical discomfort that concerns me. I'm not as rich as I want to be, so that doesn't provide me the options. But my mood is fantastic, and my mental acuity and creativity are off the charts. And I'm going to be 63 on May 23rd. And in my previous careers, I've had great success. You know, I worked in the Yolo County Health Department as an environmental health specialist, certified hazardous material specialist. I inspected landfills. I was well respected with the state. I thought that was pretty cool. Then I went on to the district attorney's office, started off in environmental crime. I was the Barney Fife. I didn't like the gun. And in the special services unit, and then that disbanded, and they put me in welfare fraud, and I was like, no, I can't do that. Anyway, somehow or another, I finagled then District Attorney Dave Henderson through the loving support and help of my magnificent bosses, Pete Martin and Mark Jones, and then picked up the IT job because the guy left, and I didn't have, I got a degree in biology, not IT, but I was toying and building computers and whatnot. Anyway, Dave retired, after several years, and Jeff Reisig, magnificent Jeff Reisig, became the DA. And he pushed the envelope with me. He wanted a 21st century case management system, web-based. He wanted a paperless system, be the first district attorney's office in the state of California to have their attorneys be able to operate in court instead of carrying big boxes of files and rummaging through them, especially during the arraignment process, which is incredibly fast-paced. Use the computer, access the documents. And, I was like, oh, dear God, how am I going to do that? But I managed it. I managed it in a very creative way. And we, in April 2011, and then later on in, I want to say November, we hit the mark and became the first district attorney's office of the state of California to accomplish that. It was an amazing accomplishment. I had fantastic programmers, Kyle Gahn and Ronan McNamara, and George Crombie and Jing, I can't remember, Zhao. Anyway, fantastic people, and we did it. We pulled it off. And of course, our deputy district attorneys were the guinea pigs, and they just did a magnificent job, not completely freaking out and taking it on and rocking it. So I won 2 awards for at the county level for the web-based application as a team award, because it was a team effort. And then, just before I resigned, I was provided the Innovation Spirit Award. And I figured that's my magnus opus, baby. And fortunately, nope. My magnus opus is yet to come. It is yet to come, baby. I've transformed from who I was to who I am now and to who I will become. Enjoy the ride, because I am. I'll let you watch my matrix mirror. By the way, I'm at the El Dorado Hills Sports Club doing this. And I just marvel. People see me and what the heck is he doing? Blank stares, so on and so forth. I hope I made sense during this video. A little tired. Happy go Skippy, but a little tired. And again, I'm experiencing some pain, so there's that. These are extrinsic constraints to training, but I'm blowing through them, baby. There you saw a lot of good movement just a few seconds ago in the time dash frequency envelopes and the targets. Well, David, what do you think? Are you running a session as well? Or are you just joining me in a little synchronization through chaos across the world where you are? I think it's France. Don't know for sure. Now I'm going to bring you on video and see, and if that's not okay, I'll stop it immediately. You can't join the broadcast. Never mind. Emily Latella. I'll see if I can get Val to watch this. He'll appreciate that reference. Oh, magnificent. Oh, in the immortal voice of Yukon Cornelius. from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Magnificent! Sorry for the shout. Oh. I'll finish this up. I got a little over 5 minutes left. Oh, and I'm listening to the default regular music. This is created by the magnificent Jeff Bova, Grammy Award winner, producer, composer. All of the Neuroptima music is created by Jeff and in collaboration with the developers. So it has meaning. And as we always say, when in doubt, default it out, meaning use regular sessions with default music, because that's where the data lies in the sweet spot, so to speak, of session efficacy. That doesn't mean you can't use other music or video. You know, my mother, may she rest in peace, just took off because she loved opera and the three tenors. So I was able to download the Three Tenors videos and let her run her sessions to that. And what a treat watching her, you know, in her late years, after a lot of struggles, just blossom magnificently. It was such a healing experience for us both. Excuse me. I get a little emotional because it was an unbelievable journey. So powerful. I have a lot of video of her running sessions and trying to get everybody to do it. Just do it. Just try. You can do it. Don't be afraid. I'm channeling her voice. Love you, Mom.
So we're starting with the elbow right of the shoulder, and we're going to rotate right there. That'll make it harder. If you need a harder, you go right over your shoulders. Keep your core tight. Five, 4, 3. Last one. There's that dumbbell. Bring it.
What a great session. What a great session. And I get to share it with the world that's not watching. But maybe they'll pick up on it afterwards. All right, we got a little less than T-minus 2 minutes and counting in the remaining of the session here at the El Dorado Sports Club with the curious but blank stares. What is this idiot doing? I'm brain training, baby, and I'm loving every freaking minute of it. Let's go.
4, 3, 2, 1. All right, just bring it up. It's our last time to get up and down, maybe. All right, so again, what we're going to do is this. The dumbbell in your right hand. So that is going to be on the line of your head. Your core is tight.
Okay, T-minus 1 minute and counting. We already lifted off, though.
All right, so this is going to be fairly you'll need light dumbbells for the next one, so you need, so if you don't have light ones, then grab some. All right, so let's do great arm.
Oh, it's just so wonderful. This is a client-directed process. You determine whether or not to train and at what frequency, and don't let anybody tell you differently. It's up to you, folks, based upon how you feel and how you respond. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, shutting down the Z amp. And that's the session, folks. And you can see it in the vault. May 6th, 2026, started at 8:15 a.m. So there you go, folks. That's a full session posted live on Facebook. Cheers. God bless. Be well. Many blessings always.